What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I'd like to talk about Bitcoin today. It is the second day of March, and we are sitting here at about $66.1 thousand with roughly 11 hours and 37 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. A lot's happened over the past couple of days. The Iranian regime seems to be coming to an end. I say the Iranian regime, the Iranian Islamist regime with the Ayatollah seem to be coming to an end. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I know that everybody has their own opinions on that. This is a crypto channel. I don't care to get political, but I, for one, support the ending of dictatorships anywhere in the world. And well, this year we've seen 2 of them end, so that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing, right? We could all agree, regardless of who's in charge, that the ending of a dictatorship where they are oppressing people, specifically innocent women, like the Iranian leader literally said, if you are a female prisoner and you're a virgin, we should have you raped so that before you're executed you can't go to heaven. I mean, like, these are the people that were in charge of the regime. You hear all these stories of like real accounts from people. Again, I don't want to get political, but I just, without being left or right on this, can we all agree that the ending of a dictatorship is not a bad thing? I don't know why that's a bad thing. You guys, we've seen 2 dictatorships fall in 2 months. That's great. That's so good. I don't care if Biden was president. That would be great. I don't care if Trump's president. That's great. Like, it's great. It could have been Richard Nixon. It's great, man. It's good stuff. Like, that's, like, good job. Anyways, here we are. I've had Iranians and Persian peoples tell me through DMs and on X.com that they support this. Tell me personally. Like, I mean, let alone the real accounts that you see. My goodness. Anyways, we're here to talk about crypto. But I hope everything goes well for the Iranian people. I know that you guys aren't out of the shit yet, but I hope that things get better. 66.1K, 11 and a half hours left in the day here. Here we are, moving back down. Not a whole lot. Really, we've just been moving sideways. I do still think that we have lower to go. I personally do believe that we have lower to go. But this reaction that we had 2 days ago is kind of interesting. Now, a lot of people are saying, wow, Bitcoin didn't react to this Iranian conflict at all. They didn't react to us, quote unquote, going to war with Iran. I don't think that we're at war with Iran. I've never seen a war where the people that we were going to war with were celebrating us. That's just weird, but whatever. And sure, there are some people who are protesting it. There were people in America who protested going to war with Hitler and fighting the Nazi regime. Not everybody's on the right side of history. But again, without getting too political on this, I just want to say, I very much am a supporter of freedom and women's rights, men's rights, human rights, humanitarianism. Like, I think that's obvious. I think anybody who obviously thinks that would also support the downfall of any dictatorship in the world. Yeah, that's man. Whew, guys. 66.1K right now. We are not moving anywhere with this conversation. Here's my thoughts. Okay, I want you all to just think logically here. Okay, let's like actually get into crypto mode and get away from this. But we are going to talk about the news a little bit to validate the price. You think that after this, you think that the markets don't care about this stuff that's going on in Iran, about the uncertainty that this might have caused? Do you think that when you heard about it here 2 days ago, do you think that that's the first time that anybody with money knew that this was going to happen? Or do you think maybe like 2 or 3 weeks beforehand there was insider information on this? Like, do you think an operation like this, they just impromptu decided to do it over here? Or maybe they decided to do it months ago, or a month ago, or maybe longer ago. And again, war, combat, a tactical strike in another country from one nation to another, especially whenever it's the biggest economy in the world, the United States attacking, that can cause some uncertainty. Markets don't like uncertainty. We see selling off in preparation of that. The thought that I'm trying to address here is, you really think that the market didn't react to this at all? Like look at how close in proximity it was. Do you think that as soon as you heard about it and I heard about it and everybody heard about what was going on, that's the first time anybody thought about this? No. The people with big money in the world, they knew about it way before you did. Way before I did. There's an old saying in this space, and I'd like to really reflect on that right now. It says, show me the charts, and I'll tell you the news. That's it. Why didn't we sell off? People are saying, oh, Bitcoin didn't react. Yes, it did. It reacted early. You just weren't part of the early info, okay? Notice this, remember this for future moments. It's going to happen, right? It's like this. When we pump, and then the good news comes out up here after, you know, whatever, and then we dump off, right? It's the same thing. The insiders knew about it a month beforehand, but then you knew about it up here. Doesn't that sound right? Isn't that how the world works? The little guy gets screwed, the big guy doesn't. That's just how it is. That doesn't mean that you or I or anybody who has a conscience should do that, but there are people who don't have conscience, who don't play fair, and that's how money's made in this game. This is not a fair game. 90% of you will lose money investing. Well, maybe not investing, but trading, trying to play this game. There's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for that. 66.1K right now, daily time frame. I still believe that we're going to see lower prices. I still do. Again, I just think the market's on shaky grounds. We didn't see a lot of volume come in here. I mean, if this was a buy the news event, I think we would have moved up already. This happened over the weekend. I actually want to see here. Let's see. Where were we on Friday? Yeah. Okay. So we didn't really gap up or gap down. That's cool. That's cool. I don't think we did. Let's look at the CME gap. Let's just see. Let's see if there is the BTC Bitcoin futures. See if there's a gap there. No. And there was momentarily, but we filled it. So no, there's no gap. That's a nice little cross at the bottom there. Oh, Leaf. Okay, that's the one you were talking about. I got you. See, I was trying to find this. You showed me a picture of this. I think you were referring to the CME gap. Or this is just another coincidence. But we got the cross of salvation right there. It's possible, guys. It is possible. Not a financial advisor, not a financial advisor. That we could uphold this low. Now, this is taking on the shape more of a pennant pattern, in my opinion, than what we had here. But it's still not appropriate. Like, I don't think this is a pennant. Pennants are typically more filled out. They typically are. There's too much of a big gap here. That doesn't mean that it can't be, but I really do think that what this is overall is just some inevitable double bottom. That's what we're going to see. It's going to be a slightly lower low. It's going to make people panic, and then we're going to recover. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if we did see rapid recovery. If we did see rapid recovery, I'm still not expecting that we get above this low over here, so I don't really expect that we'll get above $80,000, or if we do, probably not too much. Maybe I should say we won't get above 85K. I do expect recovery. I do expect that this will go, largely into this month of March and probably into April as well. We might get a sell in May and go away type of event, or what I'm kind of expecting is what we saw here in February at the top, right? We might be moving up in April, whatever, and then we move sideways. We kind of distribute whatever over like a couple months or a month and a half, and then the sell in May, go away might be more true at the end of May or likely in June. By the way, guys, that whole sell in May, go away thing, we're going to go over that as things get closer to May, but just a little spoiler alert, and we did this last year too, and the year before. It's more of a sell in June and go away for crypto. It's typically sell in June and go away. At least that's like the nuanced thing. Things might not repeat, but they rhyme. Although sell in June and go away does not rhyme with sell in May and go away. Anyways, let's move on. Enough shenanigans. 1 hour time frame here. We recovered a little bit. There's an initial sell-off here on Saturday, probably on the news, right? That was the on the news, late to the party people, and then the smart money bought here, and now they're probably making profits off of this, right? I really do wonder, my friends. I don't wonder. I'm being a smartass here, but if this moment is going to be any different than the others. Hold on one second. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So here we had a downtrend. We broke out of it. We're going to move back up. Here we come, 100K. Everything's good. Bitcoin's bullish. The bull market's on. The bear market's over. And it was a bear trap. Or it was a bull trap, right? It was a bull trap. And actually, here we had another one, right? It was a minor one, but another downtrend here. And we broke out of that. We're going, guys. We broke out of the downtrend. We're going up. It's going to happen. C-Zar was wrong. We're not going lower. And then we went lower. We had a really massive bull trap here. I was excited. But I did say if we went below 66K, we'd be bearish. We got really close here, And at this point, I was still bearish. I was optimistic up here. I was optimistic down here with this move. I really was, because we were breaking out. It was, and this was a suitable low. But whenever we pulled back to this level here, I got skeptical, and I was skeptical ever since. And you know, we got below 66K. In my opinion, statistically speaking, we are likely to see lower lows. Now, statistically speaking, doesn't mean that we have to. We can find support here. We can move higher. But I'd like to offer another thought here in just 1 second, right? Let's just finish this up. Here's another one. You guys, nobody cares about the Iran war. It's fine. We're going to go to $100,000. Mark my words. This is what's going to happen. You know, I made a post on X.com here. Let's see. I didn't make the post. I retweeted it, I should say. This, Ben Cohen. I was saying solid logic, honestly. Ben Cohen, guys, one of the greatest minds of our time. Oftentimes, risk assets sell off, then bounce on as major conflicts start. If a rally for Bitcoin does materialize, it will likely yield a lower high in March. Yeah, probably a lower high in March. I'm with that. I think March is going to be bullish. And if not a lower high in March, it could be a lower high in April. And then we sold off later. Right? Yeah, bear markets tend to take a while to play out. This is coming from the guy. This is coming from the direct words of Benjamin Cohen, who I think out of any analyst in crypto, stocks, or otherwise, did not make an incorrect call in the entirety of 2025. Right? This dude's on a heater. All heaters come to an end. But I mean, he really does not apply emotion in his analysis. At least it doesn't seem like it to me. It's very logical. It's very well thought out. This guy's a mathematician. Like this guy knows what he's doing. Right? He's a very smart individual. If you guys don't follow Ben Cohen, you need to give him a follow. But I mean, I think this is a fair comparison, and I would agree with this entirely. I think that this is a very similar outcome to what we're probably going to see. Yeah. You know, we'll probably come back up here, a lower high. I very much agree. And bear markets do take time to play out. Absolutely, they do. They absolutely do. We've never seen a bear market in our entire existence that's lasted this short of a time. Well, I guess that's not true, actually. I think we did see one. But that was in the very, very beginning. And was it even a bear market, right? Like, was this even a bear market? That just looks like a correction. This was before the halving. This was early days. I mean, you could say it's a bear market, but 1, 2, 3, 4 months of downside? I don't think so. I don't think that's a bear market, man. I think we had one giant bull cycle. I think that was the super cycle in the beginning, right? This here is a bear market. This here is a bear market. If this was a bear market, how was this not a bear market? This was worse. Maybe not percentage-wise, but time-wise, this was way worse. But it wasn't a bear market. This was all part of the same bull market right here, right? We did have a little bit of stagnation there, a little crab cycle, but this is a bear market, right? This, again, it's just too small. It's too short. Not that it can't be. It's completely possible. I mean, there's so many scenarios here where even if we still are in a bear market, we don't go too much lower than we are now. And there's plenty of scenarios where we could go lower. We could even go below 50K by the end of this cycle. I'm personally thinking we could go below 50K. Maybe we hold 50K by the end of the cycle. I'm not trying to talk about the long-term stuff in this video, but I'm all over the place, man. I just woke up. Let's get into the short-term stuff. We'll zoom back out. Okay. Here's a thought that I wanted to address before we moved on, though. Right? Because I was talking about, was it this one? I think so. Yeah, I was on the 4-hour time frame, and I was showing you the downtrends, or maybe it was the 1-hour time frame. And I was showing you how when we broke out of this, we had a bull trap. We had a bull trap. We had a bull trap. We are having a bull trap now, and we're probably going to break down from it, right? Whenever we found support here the first time, that was immaculate support. When we found support here the second time, that was pretty good support. When we found support here the third time, that's not as good. Not as good. We're getting higher lows, but we're getting lesser recovery. I don't know if I like that, right? You can say, well, it's a pennant pattern. It really doesn't fit the format of a pennant pattern, in my opinion, but tomato, whatever. We can agree to disagree there. All I know is typically, and this doesn't mean always, but typically, if you have a point of support, like we do here with this trend line, right, with that trend line there, if you have a point of support and you bounce from it, that's great. But if you come back down and you see a weaker bounce from it, that's not so good. If you come back down and you're not really, and it's getting weaker and weaker, you know you're going to break through. That's what happens. That's what happens. Real quick example of that happening, right? I mean, first off, right here, that was a very nice bounce. And then here we didn't have as strong of a bounce, so we broke through. But right here, bounced off this area. It was intense. Bounced off. It was less intense, even less intense, and then it was whimpering. What did we do? We crapped the bed. Quite literally, we crapped the bed. Let's move on. Let's get into the short term stuff. Okay, I do want to do a long term analysis video, but now is not the time. 66K right now. 22 minutes left in this hour. I don't know what to call this. I mean, it might be. It's probably just a broadening wedge. Yeah, it's not a megaphone. It's a broadening wedge. We could break out of it to the upside. Maybe we get a double top, relatively speaking, or a slightly higher high, something like that. We absolutely can break out of it to the downside. I think people are irrationally bullish for some reason right now. I do think March will be a good month, but again, I as I said, the last like 2 weeks of February, I believe that March will open up to the downside. I believe this first week of March, which hey, it's the second day, will be bearish. That's just my expectation. I think the month will close green overall, but it will be bearish. We rejected the overbought zone. Right? We're getting oversold. We're rejecting the overbought zone, and now we've got lower lows and lower highs. I'm not bullish on the 1 hour RSI. No. Definitely not bullish on the stochastics rejecting the overbought zone after getting oversold. That's not good. And the MACD is rejecting the 0.2, guys. It's all bearish, all on the 1 hour time frame. So likely over the coming hours, we're going to move down. Now, we do have 11 hours, 20 minutes left in the day. It's possible that we move down and we move back up when we don't close too far away, but the odds of today closing green are probably not good. Just based on this 1 hour time frame, probably not good. Not probably not good. Let's use proper words. Definitely not good. The odds of closing today green are not good at all. Likely it will close red. Okay. 4 hour time frame here. We've got the RSI. Again, we're getting oversold. We're having a hard time getting overbought, you guys. Here we bounced off the oversold zone. And this, whenever you see this kind of ranging where you get oversold, overbought, oversold like this, right? Whenever it's that fast and you're just rejecting these areas, that typically implies volatility. And what do you know? We got some volatility here. But again, just the thought on this trend line dating back from this low here, it's a much weaker bounce and absent of volume entirely. I don't trust it. It doesn't make sense to me that we would move up. So down we go. If anything, it honestly looks almost like a kind of like a W pattern. It can't be a W though. The middle point can't be above that. So I'm not going to run with that idea. I was going to call it a failed W, but that's not even fair. Again, there is a chance that we could move up first, but looking at the 1 hour time frame, I'm very skeptical of that. I think that we will just move down. 4 hour RSI, it's in a neutral posturing right now. I mean, we just rejected the 60. Let's come down a little bit. Maybe then we can find support. Maybe you find support here, right, on the RSI. Maybe that's what you do. That would still imply that we move down over the coming day, maybe two. You look at the stochastics, we're at the overbought area, maybe come down, consolidate, get down to the oversold areas, and then we can start moving up again. The MACD is worthless. MACD is not going to help us at all. We're choppy and we're moving sideways. It's the worst environment for the MACD to be reliable in. MACD is the least reliable in that environment. Daily time frame, MACD building higher highs in the histogram while promoting lower highs. It's hidden bearish divergence. Same thing in the stochastics. Same thing in the RSI. The RSI is clearly overall bearish. There's no bullish divergence. If any of you think that this is bullish divergence, you're wrong. It's incorrect. It's hidden bearish divergence actually. Same thing on the stochastics. No, this is all, it's all bearish. So again, my thoughts are people are, throughout this whole range, people are too comfortable with buying. And the reason for that is a really good reason, right? For most of this range, the reason why is, well, you're at a huge discount. This is the best price to have bought in like the last 2 years, year and a half at least. Like, this is great. That's, I mean, you don't even have to buy it at the low. Here we are like 10%, 20% higher, and guess what? That's a great time to buy. Still, we could drop all the way down here. The logic here again is man, even if it does go lower, I still bought at a good price, you know? It's like the same people who bought, you know, maybe they bought here or here. Even if it does go lower, I still bought at a good price, and you were right in time, but your faith had to be tested first, right? If you're looking at this and thinking, well, I can buy here, and if it goes lower, whatever, this is still a good price, that's fine, but understand it can go lower, and it likely will. And now we have people who are celebrating the fact that this stuff going on with Iran is happening and that the markets didn't tank. This is clearly a sign that we're going to pump from here. Maybe it is. Or maybe that's just another psychological play on your mentality. and maybe it is a good time. Maybe it is a good time to buy, but is it the best time to buy? I don't think so. I really am sticking with this lower low expectation. And again, as I've been saying since the day that we recovered here, I think that when we see this lower low, I think that what we're going to see is a slightly lower low, and it will behave much like a fake out. What is a fake out? A fake out, it's like this, right? This is a fake out, where you have an area of resistance, you break out, but just kidding, and then you typically, not just typically, but literally always, when you have a fake out, you rip to the other direction. Like that's just what happens, right? Here we faked out and we ripped to the other direction. That's just how it happens, guys. This was a fake out to the downside. We had a horizontal range, had a little fake out to the downside. We ripped to the other direction to new all-time highs in a very short amount of time, which that was also a fake out. We had fake out on fake out, and it just, before I say that word one more time, that's what I'm expecting. So a fake out by definition likely will break out to the downside, falsify the market's dynamics, and people will get mega bearish at the lows, as it always happens. Does that sound familiar? A slightly lower low is what I'm calling for. Something technically below 58.8K and 53.5K is an appropriate target, but I'm very much focused on that 58 to 59K area personally. We should see that happen this week. That's my expectation. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care. And congrats to the people who are free of the Ayatollah. I don't know if you are free of the Ayatollah. I know that the Supreme Leader guy, whatever, he was taken out, but I know that there's another one in place. It's not so simple as just tactical striking the leadership and then the regime falls. There's contingencies, there's subjects, there are loyal followers to the cause. I personally think that anybody who's in support of a dictatorship that literally strips women of their rights and yeah, I mean, hangs their own people in public squares, executes their own people for protesting. Like, I don't think in history that's ever been something that anybody should support. Right. I hope we're all on the same page. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care. Bye bye.